welcome. Our meeting will be probably a little short today because we are just mostly going over logistics, and I'll go a little bit more into that as we continue together. Real quick again, I say it all the time, but I just want to make sure that we are remembering what our goals are for PBIS. Our focus is on decreasing suspension referrals, increasing school attendance, increasing school attendance and also increasing school connectedness. You guys have been doing an amazing job with your events, and it's making a huge difference. Definitely is. All right, I always like to do a little warm up with you. So I want you to think about the reset. So we only have 3 more months left of school. I know we're almost done with February, but not quite there. But thinking about a movie genre, which one are you currently living in? And what is the one positive reward you need to actually make it to the end of credits, right, for your movie? Or we're saying it for the end of the year, right? So are you right now an action thriller movie? High energy, fast pace, explosions, testing's going on, field trips, and your reward is like, I need a daily IV drip of iced coffee, something like that. But are you the Hallmark special? Heartwarming moments with students before they move on. This could be like our 8th grade class that we're looking at, our seniors, and you really need a stack of handwriting thank you notes. Or are you that survival horror movie? Just trying to get through the hallway transitions. I need extra long break once a week. In your chat, tell me where you are at. What movie and what positive reward do you need? Amanda is survival horror. Let's see. What else we have? Ryan, the action thriller. I need a daily dose of golf. Ryan, you're right there with my husband. Daily good dose. That's what he constantly.
The survival horror is because I'm realizing all the evaluations I still have to do on top of everything else. So yeah.
All right. Well, what do you need? What do you need? What can we get for you, Amanda?
Oh, let me think about it.
Kelly is survival. Danielle, survival for sure. Lillian, horror film or survival horror. Oh, my action thriller, taking recess with the kids. Oh, Kelly, that helps you. I'm in a crazy sci-fi survival mode. Love that, Cynthia. Martyr, where are you at? Stand to deliver. And then action thriller. Esther, right now I feel like I'm in a Groundhog's Day, but like every day has a separate dose of middle school. Oh, my goodness. All right, you guys. Yes, there is a lot that is going on for these last few months. We always were reflecting back of can't believe like where we're at and how far that we've come. But yes, keep up the strong energy. Remember, you guys are strong leaders. That's why you are in this PBIS position, and that everybody is looking at you for leadership. So even though we're feeling stressed out, just kind of always kind of put that brave face on so that our students aren't feeling any kind of stress energy coming from us, and our staff and our teams are not feeling that too, right? So we think of leadership, if they're feeling like you can't make it, then they start thinking that they cannot make it at all. All right. Again, attendance, please stay on the very end. It's a shorter meeting because I'll give you guys some working time on your own, but the link will be shared at the end and Tiffany will drop that in, but she'll do you a friendly reminder. Please stay on. Any celebrations before we move on? Anybody want to share? Unmute yourself, share out anything fabulous?
Well, we definitely want to thank you, Miss Dina, for you and your team for coming to visit us here at Hoover. So we really appreciate your time. We're definitely excited direction where we're going. We're going to have our PBIS assembly tomorrow. So the students going to be doing their skits. We got our behavior matrix and a lot of good things to be able to share. We're going to do some raffle prizes. So we're excited.
And I don't know if you got a chance to send me an invite to that. I can't remember the time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll forward you the link.
Okay.
I'll forward you the information.
All right. I do have a site visit at Stag tomorrow. If Stag's on here. Hoo Stag. But hopefully the time will work out and I can get to that.
Awesome.
Anybody else? Any
I do. I want to share.
All right,
We had
Charlene.
our parent student dance, which was a huge success. So it was nice to see the families. And then the day after that, we had lunch on the lawn and we had 120 families that signed in for lunch on the lawn. It was amazing.
That is
It was very
fabulous.
nice.
Any feedback or anything that you heard families kind of talking about afterwards?
Yeah, they said that they would like us to do more of those activities.
Mm-hmm.
They were very excited with lunch on the lawn. It went great.
And that just lines perfectly with one of our PBIS goals is school connectedness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I want to talk about a showcase, a site visit that I was at Stockton Skills Commodore. I'll let Danielle, the counselor and our PBIS lead, talk about this. But I can't even express how I felt when I walked in here. And I think it was watching the students talking with each other, smiling, laughing. And it was just amazing to see. And then just the work that the counselors put in for putting off this sip and paint activity. I know they've done some other incentive for students events, and they can talk about that. But let's let Danielle, if she can explain to everybody the reason why that they started doing this, the positive effect it's had on students, and just kind of the organization of it, and how it worked out. Danielle, are you on?
Yep. Hi.
All right.
Thank you for coming out, Dina. It was great having you at our event. So we have a Cougar store but kids get a lot of Cougar Cash, and we were trying to figure out other ways for them to spend their money so that we didn't run out of supplies so quickly. For K2, we had a dance party, and this was all in the last couple of weeks. And then we had a Valentine's Day Polaroid pop-up where the 7th and 8th graders could buy a Polaroid picture of themselves and take it with friends and stuff. And then we had a sip and paint, which is what Dina came to. So we had me and Sylvia, my co-counselor, we made the videos for each event and sent them out via email, just kind of telling everyone what the event was about, how they could get tickets, how much it cost, when it would be. So that was fun and just different. And then so for the sip and paint, we did I had little canvases, and sorry, I'm all pointing. You can see. We had canvases with the little stand. We had acrylic paint for them. We got donuts and Capri Suns for them. And then we just decorated the room like super cute. And then I found a YouTube video where that was a guided drawing of a sea turtle. But a lot of the students actually just chose to do their own painting, and they turned out super cute. I mean, the kids were engaged. They were excited. We had little streamers for them when they walked in the door. We tried to make it like a super special event because we did charge 25 Cougar Cash for it. So we had about in 3rd through 6th grade, we had about a little over 50 students participate. So we broke it up into a couple different sections. We sent out the video. I sent out another email asking teachers to talk to their class and email me with like how many tickets they would need. And then we individually took the tickets to each class and got the names. And so then I made a schedule and sent it out. It was a successful event. I think as an administrator, seeing the kids that participated in this experience was that a lot of the kids a few kids that I saw that for discipline, they actually work to get the Cougar Cash so they can experience this. So just seeing some of those students that have behavioral challenges, work towards something in a positive way, not only build their self-confidence, but they actually got to have a good time. And they were able to kind of like a brag card, like, hey, I was able to go to Sip and Paint. What you guys do? Yeah. You guys were in class. Huh? So it was nice. It was nice to see that.
So again, they had 25 they had to do 25 cash Cougar bucks that they use there. That's our reward system. And when the students were coming in, they were like so excited, but I was help monitoring the door and to check, and they kept saying, please check. They were so honest. Please check, make sure that I do have 25 cash dogs. Like they wanted to make sure that they were being honest with this. The other thing I want you guys to remember is that if you, or if you think about it, if I was to ask you really the question right now, what are some of the most things that you remember about maybe your school when you were K through 8th grade? Most of you are going to tell me about an experience, not a tangible item that you actually received. And so we know that our tangible items that we're giving out in our PBIS incentives, that's just something that we're going to give students, you know, very quickly right away, but it's not something they're always going to remember. It's these experiences, these opportunities that we are providing for them that are going to help with behavior, because when you do the next activity, right, or event, they are going to make sure they're going to do everything possible to either get their Cougar bucks or their pride tickets, whatever it is, must be, or their name on the list, versus saying, you know, always that I'm just going to have to go to a store and receive something. And then again, I cannot express just listening to students actually have those conversations with each other. They were encouraging each other. They were helping each other out. They were sharing paints. Again, giving suggestions about things to draw or how to make changes. It's that communication, the interaction that we miss a lot of times during our every single day activities with our students. Next year, like I've already mentioned to all of you, that most likely you will have incentive funds. Start thinking about things like this that you want to do. And these should be some of the items that you would put on your list to order for next year. So start thinking ahead of time. What are some events that we really want to have, PBIS events that we really want to have? What are some of the materials that we're going to need to be successful for this event? Start making your list. Go ahead and go on Amazon too. You can find the links. We'll just double check them before you actually send them off for next year. And that way, when we're moving forward, you're not scrambling around and trying to figure out, what do I really need at the last minute? And then just on another side note, since we're talking about incentives, next year, the requirement for me to release your allocations is you will do your incentive plan like you guys always have done every year. But in addition to that is, before I release your funds, you will also have to submit to me your TFI Tier 1. So we'll talk about that next year, but just keep that in your mind that that's going. Any questions for Danielle and Monica about this fabulous sip and paint? Oh, the videos I want to talk about. I am going to link the videos that Danielle has sent to me. They're just fun, right? It's just them being themselves and getting people, encouraging staff to talk about this event, get the students hyped up. They're just fun videos, and I'm going to link them on here. So when you go back and look at the slides, you can see how they created their videos to get people pumped up about this event. So that will be coming. Any questions now for Danielle and Monica about this event or the dance party or the Valentine's Polaroid pop-up?
I want to know how the K2 party went.
It was a lot. It was insane. We had our mascot there come in, do a guest appearance, and I made it like a big deal, like, oh my gosh, I stopped the party and I was like, we have a celebrity, like you're gonna have to or they're famous, like you have to remember to like give them space. And I made I made a video last night and sent it out of each different event. And so it was just so that the kids could see, if they didn't get to go, what they missed. But yeah, it was a lot. I learned a lot. Like, definitely need to cap how many kids can come, make a couple different sessions. But yeah, it was super fun, but a lot.
And that's a key, Danielle, is, again, everything is not always the first time going to be successful. Yeah. Even after you do things 5 or 10 times, right? It's not going to be successful. But just being open and saying, okay, this is what we learned from this, and how can we make it better the next time?
I would also say for the sip and paint, we had thought about having it just as one big event in the cafeteria. We ended up making it in the small room, and I'm so glad we did that because it was way more personable, easy to manage, and more special for the students as well.
Yeah, it was definitely like a VIP experience for them from what I witnessed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you are doing. Again, at your site, it might not look just like this, but hopefully it sparks an idea for you.
Was the dance party during the day or after school?
It was during the day.
Okay.
Any other questions? Good question. All right, so again, we have our lead notebook. Your lead notebook has our recordings in it. It has our slide decks. So always kind of check that before you're like, hey, Dina, I'm not too sure about something. Look on the slide decks because I'm pretty sure your answer to your question might be there. Foundations, anybody have anything to share about their foundations readings that they have done? Anybody? You guys are claiming hours for it. So I know you're doing reading. Who's talking?
Me, Ryan. So
Ryan.
I admit, last year when I started PBIS, I started in January at Chavez. I had my son, he was born, and I kind of took a little pause from that. We just started because I transitioned back to Chavez in the classroom on the PBS site lead as of January. I just started reading the foundation books. And so I started at Module A. I know a lot of you have gone through a lot of the modules, but what really stood out to me, and it kind of helps our situation. So yesterday, teachers voiced their opinion about students becoming tardy. First period, there's a lot of tardiness on campus. And so our principal, Ms. Sanchez, actually included me in the email and said, hey, how would we basically approach this using a PBIS lens? And so I gave some ideas to the staff, how we can approach this situation through a PBIS perspective. And then I started to think how large our school is. And based off the book on page 48, it talked about sending staff surveys or polls to get opinions and informations about priorities, problems, and successes. And I never thought of that before. At Taft, Miss Ayala, she's amazing. Ayala's amazing. She would create a newsletter, and we'd also find time to talk at staff meetings. But with a campus as large as Chavez, a lot of the staff members might not feel like they want to share what's bugging them because there's so many staff members. And so sending out a staff survey monthly would help us collect data that we could talk and share with the admin team and the PBS team to help us inform our decision of how to approach certain issues on campus. So that really stuck out to me. I want to send out some polls and surveys.
No, definitely. And getting staff feedback. Staff are very creative, right? And they also listen to what students are needing. They also they know the trends also about when students are coming in. Is it just in the morning? Is it right after lunch? We see a big increase in tardiness especially in high school, after they're returning back from lunch. And then Ryan, I'm going to email you because Stag did something really creative. It was I don't know, Stag, are you on here, Stag? Stag did something, it was just like not like an I got you, but it was like a surprise attendance. And so let me get you some information on that and hook you up with that and listen, and they can share with you what they did. And it was really successful. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, something that I wanted to share with you in the module is Module B, looking at pages 89 through 93. And thinking about, because we're going into state recognition and some of your action plans. And some of them is about teaching expectations. And then if you look on page 90, between 89 and 93, there's actually a whole kind of schedule of how you would roll out teaching your common area expectations throughout your whole school. So again, it's just a suggestion on there. It's not, you don't have to do it exactly like that, but at least it kind of gives you a timeline and where you should be focusing on. But again, that's a short read, 89 through 93, about launching your expectations, and then looking specifically on page 90 in Module B, it gives you just an outline of a schedule of how you would be rolling out your expectations for the first 5 days of school. All right. So a lot of you have seen me doing and my team coming out and doing school-wide expectations. Love doing them. I'm almost finished, but I am going to click on here and show there are a few school sites that have not signed up with me to go for state recognition. These are the ones that I have attended. So all these that are in red, these are all the school sites that I have been to, and we've already done state walkthroughs. Down here at the bottom, if you are yellow, that means you have not reached out to me for a date. So it's just these schools right here. And if you are going for state recognition, you must do a walkthrough, or you would not be able to qualify for state recognition. All right. So please reach out to me. I know there's a couple schools down there we had to reschedule, but just reach out. And I know things get busy and you're like, oh, now I remember. That's right. I told Dina I'd reschedule with her and I forgot. So just reach out to me. And then even if you're not going for state recognition, if I don't hear from you, then I'm just going to end up doing just kind of like a pop-in so I can give you that data. I have a lot of good feedback that people are like, thank you so much for that data that you provide. It's really helpful for us to implement PBIS. And then again, when I'm going out and I'm doing these walkthroughs, these are the feature items that I am looking at that are focusing on our survey. We survey students randomly and your classified staff randomly, and then your teachers. There are additional questions that I personally go in and ask teachers that are different than that we ask students and your classified staff. So you can review that. You've seen that before. Here are, again, some updates for PBIS. So a lot of you did attend the webinar for state recognition. State recognition is now open. It says that state recognition applications are due by May 8th. That is their deadline. Our deadline is going to be April 17th. I'm going to repeat that again. Our deadline for all applications are April 17th. And the reason why is this, which I'm super excited about. The interest form. This is the most we've ever had. And I think the last I checked, it was at 47 school sites said that they are interested in going for state recognition. That is huge. Last year we had 26. It is amazing. I'm going to scroll down here. If you see your name on here and you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it, you have access to this. Remove your name. If you don't see a yes by your school site, and you're like, wait a minute, Dina, no, I am, and I want to do state recognition, then put in a yes next to your school name. So these are all the schools so far that are like, yep, we're going, whoops, did I already scroll down too much? They're like, yep, we're going for it, Dina. We got it. Which is super exciting. There we go. And scroll it down. And if you see a no next to a school site and you're like, hey, my friend's there, you get on the phone, tell them, why don't you have your yes next to there? So everybody pretty much should be going for, if you've never done it before, bronze. At least everybody could do bronze. And like I've said before, you've done the work, go ahead and get the credit for it. Bronze is just saying like, we're really just starting with tier 1, which is fabulous. That means that you are starting the implementation. And again, the focus of state recognition is looking at our tiers of support, tiers 1, 2, and 3, and how are we implementing these tiers with fidelity, okay? It's kind of, it holds your school site accountable for the implementation, because our overall goal is how are we serving our students in the tiers of support? So yes, we have this outcome where we have the big recognition, but the big accomplishment is the process to get there. So I sent this email out to everybody. This is just the shorter version of it, of saying, if you are going for state recognition, here are the steps. Please follow this. I try to make it as simple as possible. I know you guys get a lot of emails. I try not to overload you with emails, but the ones that I send out are really for your benefit. I don't like to send out fluff to you. So for this first step, we're using the action plan form. The action plan form, all I need is your scores. You don't need to put your action here. The reason why is because you're going to do your action on the actual application. So I just need your scores. Now let's talk about scores. After you do your TFI, your scores cannot be like 1.5, 2.5, or 2.5, or whatever. They have to be whole numbers. So when you do your survey, so for example, if you are the first time, if you've never applied for state recognition, you're either going to be going for bronze or silver. First timers. It's your TFI overall score that's going to let me know if you're going for bronze or silver. And what I mean by that is after you take the survey, if your overall score for tier 1 is less than 70%, then you automatically will go for a bronze application. If your tier 1 overall score is 70% or higher, then you're going to go for silver. This is for first-time applicants. Here's your survey. It tells you right here, this is what you're going to do. Click on it. This is our first step. When you click on this, in the top right-hand corner, it's saying use this template. Click on use your template. Once you click on use template, it becomes yours. So just rename it whatever you want. You don't have to make a copy of it. It automatically becomes yours. But you might just want to rename it TFI 2.1, tier 1 or first tier, whatever you want to name it. It's up to you. And again, this survey, it has the rubrics here of what constitutes a 0, a 1, or a 2. So a question came up is like, hey, Dina, what if we get our results? Because after everyone submits the TFI to you, whoever is the owner of it now, you're going to get the results. You're going to click up there at the top, how many have responded. You're going to go to, say you want to do an Excel, you're going to get that, and then you're going to look at the pie chart. If it's you get, say, in 1.4, overall, it says 50% of everybody said it was a 1, and then the other 50 said it was a 2. What do we do? Well, what you do is you come back as a team, looking at 1.4, letting them know we had 50-50. Let's have a discussion about it. Why did 50% of you give a 1 score, and why gave a 2? Let's look at the rubric. Right? For a 1, expected behaviors are taught informally and or inconsistently. If they said why, well, why do you think that they're inconsistent, that we're teaching them? Or we have a formal system with written schedules is used to teach expected behaviors directly to students across a classroom and campus setting. And at least 70% of students can list at least 67 of the expectations. Well, you should be looking at my results that I send you after the walkthrough. Because if you get, when I surveyed students, and if you're getting an overall score from my survey data that's saying only 40% of students know your school-wide expectations from the data we collected, then you definitely would not be a 2 out here. You would be at a 1. Okay? So it's those overall scores that you do the action plan. Please don't create some different action plan. Please use this action plan that I have here. You make a copy of it. You name it with your school name. You put your overall scores on here, and you just email me to my .net, this action plan. Okay? If you are returning silver, right? You've done silver last year, and you're like, hey, you know what? We want to still focus on tier 1. Fabulous. Then you're still just doing the tier 1 survey. If you notice, if you're going for bronze or silver, no matter if it's your first time for silver or returning, for bronze and silver and gold, you need to have your TFI tier 1s to me by February 25th. Why? Because we cannot move forward without that. And I have 47 schools that are going for state recognition, right? I don't want to be waiting till the last minute to get everything in. So please get your tier 1 into me by February 21st. Now for gold, you have a deadline of February 25th, but for gold, you have to score 70% or higher in tiers 1 and tier 2 survey. So I need both of your surveys sent to me by February 25th. Please send your action plan results, gold applicants, by February 25th for tiers 1 and 2. Do not put your action plan on the form. I just need your numbers. Okay? And then for platinum applicants, yours is due a little later. I gave you till March 6th. That's because you're surveying all 3 tiers. Tiers 1, 2, and 3 all need to be into me by March 6th. And again, when I say into me, that means this action plan form with your scores on it need to be sent to me. Questions about the survey, the action plan, your due dates, and getting it to me. Now, this is just the first step. Once I get your TFI scores, I look at your scores, I put them in assessment for you, PBIS assessment, and then you're going to get an email from me. And your email is going to say, congratulations, you've scored this. This is the application you're going to get. I am going to make an application for you. So, sorry. Oh, we'll go back that. The application part, you do not need to make a copy of it. And I have the directions in there for you. It's going to say, this is your application. You're going to actually see your name on the application. It is a working document. It's not your actual application. I call it a working application. It's a worksheet. Because when you do the actual application, it looks just like the worksheet. And you literally, I want you to do everything so we can just copy and paste the information over. So do not make a copy of it. It is yours. And I will be looking at your application as you are working on it. Okay? Questions about that? And I have all the directions in there. I've also included, when you get this email from me saying, this is your application, you may move forward, your working document, you may work forward. I also have a recording of going through the whole application with you. The only one that I did not do a recording for, because we need to have more one-on-one conversations, is for our platinum recognitions. So if you're going for platinum, I will be talking to you more one-on-one. Okay? Are we clear on that? I thought I had something on it, maybe not. You also see this on your application, but I've also put it here. Here are some examples of good action plans and ones that are not acceptable. Now, I do want to clarify, at the beginning of the year, we all did 3.0 TFI. That's because that's what PBIS said we were doing. Then when it got for the application process, they said, nope, we're doing TFI 2.1. That is why we are not using 3.0, because some of you said, oh, Dina, I already did that at the beginning of the year. Yes, I know, but we have to use 2.1. So please look at my email or come to this slide deck. These are your correct surveys that you will be using. This is the correct action plan that you'll be using. Cannot stress that enough. Okay. Also, that is new. I've done this before for gold and platinum, but now for all tiers, I will do a walkthrough. I do not, I'll do a classroom walkthrough. As I'm doing this expectation walkthroughs, that's doing interviewing. This one, I do not interview anybody. And I don't need admin or counselors or the leads to be there. I will basically, I'll give you a heads up and say, hey, I'm going to come by your site. I just am going to be coming in some classrooms and I have to mark some of these off. This is what I'll be looking at: physical structure, classroom routines, expectation, active supervision, relevant instruction, and acknowledgement. And these are the things that I just walk in and I'm looking. It's a snippet. And I'm just going to be checking off. There's a worksheet that I look at of what I've noticed. No teacher names, no room numbers, nothing like that. It's just things that I noticed. And then I sign it and saying, this is what I actually observed when I came into these classrooms. That's what I saw. Again, it's these ABCs that I'm going to be checking off on that I see. And then I just will list for you overall and saying, because each criteria has a different amount of evidence that I need to see. So I might say to you, I saw strong evidence overall. That's all I say. So here at Horta, I saw strong evidence of physical structure, expectations, and relevant instruction. That's it. Okay, so I'm not doing an observation and watching a teacher, nothing like that. Right? So it's just going to be in, come out. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not surveying anybody. It's just, these are the things I'm looking at. I will sign it, and then you will have to upload it into your application. All right, couple calendar changes. We have a big event on March 5th, which is the Stockton Kings, the halftime performance and everything. So I will not, since that's my responsibility, I will not be having a district-wide PBIS meeting. District-wide PBIS meeting. This is not our lead meeting like we have right now, district-wide. So the last one that we did with where we had Dr. Ross come in and take the place, that is our last meeting for the school year. So there will be no more district-wide meetings, PBIS meetings, going forward for the rest of the school year. Okay, and I have it up here. It's canceled right here. For our PBIS meetings, I made a change. Originally, I had our last meeting of the school year on 4/23 in person. That has been changed. You notice it's not highlighted in yellow. It's going to be on Zoom. And I will send out the change after this meeting on the calendar invite. I just didn't want to do it ahead of time and you're thinking, wait, what's going on here, right? So I wanted to give you some heads up before I send out that change. And I also wanted to give you a heads up before I cancel the district-wide PBIS meeting too. Okay. All right. I'm sad. I was hoping that we were going to get more mascots at the Stockton Kings game. The Stockton Kings is recognizing mental health awareness. The halftime performance is 4 minutes. We were hoping that we would get the school sites to have their mascots come out and be on the court while our little performance is kind of going on. We cannot have students be a mascot because there's a different process for that, because the arena is by water. So we would have to do a whole thing for that. So we were asking that your mascots be adults. And I'm going to give a big shout out. I know she's not here, but we have our AP from San Joaquin, Jessica. She had said today, I'm going to be there and I am going to wear the mascot and I'm going to be out on the court representing San Joaquin. It is only, you literally are on the court for 4 minutes. And you will be, if you decide, because I need confirmation, well, I would need it, I really need it by today. You'll be on one of the corners. You'll be in your mascot. 4 minutes of that. We will make a sign for you to hold as a mascot with some mental health saying on it. And then it will also have your school logo, because we also want to represent your school site. Okay. And you're basically just up there pumping up the crowd, getting everybody excited, but we're representing the district and you're representing your school. If you do decide, because there's a confirmation form and I'll show it to you, you do need to be at the rehearsal. The rehearsal is at 4. It's from 4 to 4:30 on that day. Get there before 4, like at 3:50. We got to go through it, right? And then you leave, and then you would come back. Doors reopen at 6. The halftime show is around 7:50, but that doesn't mean start. I wouldn't suggest you come rolling in at 7:40, right? Hopefully you come back when the game starts, because you, if you do the halftime show, you'll get 2 tickets, one for yourself and one for somebody else. And hopefully that you will stay. We will have an area that you'll be putting your mascots at until you have to change into them. And then we'll also have an area, because we don't want people to see who's in the mascots. We want it to be a surprise. This is the confirmation form. Tiffany's going to drop it in the chat. And like I said, I'm so sad.
Dina,
Oh, good.
is the rehearsal a dress rehearsal? Do you want us in the mascot suits at the time?
No, you don't have to. Great question. But you might want to, only because I know like on some of those mascots, the hands are, you know what I mean? You want to make sure you're able to hold your sign. Okay. Now, here's the thing that I will say to you. All right, Hoover. Say if your mascot, if it is very difficult to hold the sign, you can have somebody else down there with you, right? So Erica, if you're going to say be in your mascot, but Brandy wants to be
My
down there
eagle
too,
wings.
whatever you see. So then you would have maybe Brandy or whoever with you. The only ask is this though. If you are not in a mascot costume, then we are asking that you wear the mental health shirt that we have designed and created. So that is why right here it asks you, because even though you're in the mascot, we're still going to give you a shirt. But if you have somebody that wants to stand next to you and help you, guide you, because it's kind of hard to see in those costumes too. That's why we're asking for both of your sizes. I don't need to know whose is whose, just like, so for El Dorado, Angela said, I need a medium and an extra large. I don't know whose is whose. Doesn't matter to me. You can decide that when you get your tickets and give it to the person. But I need to know, because who's going to do this right away? I have to let the Stockton Kings know, because I have to give them a list of names. And if your name is not on the list, it's like a VIP list. No, because you're going to have a different entrance coming for practice rehearsal. If your name's not on the list, they will not let you in at all. Okay. Now, this is our final list. Please do not put your name on this list if you're like, I'm not 100% sure. This is only if you are 100% sure you are going to be out there. Okay. So I will give you guys a couple more hours to fill this in. And if you're putting someone's name on there that's not your name, please double check that this person is going to be able to carry out this expectation. It's going to be fun, you guys. It's going to be super fun. Okay. Questions about the halftime? Final list, final. And then I'll be emailing just you guys about this. Okay. So again, rehearsals at what time? 4. Do we show up at 4? No. We show up at least by 3:50, right? Right. Okay. And it's on March 5th. And you guys will both get, every person will get 2 tickets. Right, Tiffany? Right. All right. Kind of my last thing is, if you were able to make it to Dr. Ross, peer-to-peer aggression and functions of challenging behavior, wonderful. If you weren't able to make it, we do have a makeup session down here, which will be on March 26th on Zoom from 1 to 3. I've already sent, and I will send out a calendar invite to everybody for this. But right now, the only calendar invites that you did receive, and this is only for people that actually went to the training, you got a calendar invite for office hours. Office hours are going to be on February 26th and April 23rd from 1 to 3 on Zoom. And office hours it's not just like a drop-in, it's the time together. It is a 2-hour block. Bring some of your challenging behaviors, bring what have you used that Dr. Ross taught you about. Maybe you need little tweaks on it, but it's really there. Take advantage of this time with him. It is a working session, but it's just there to bring anything to him so he can help with you with some strategies for some challenging behaviors. So again, the dates already went out, calendar invites for the 26th and the 23rd for all of you that attended. If you missed a session, I'm going to send it out district-wide for a makeup day, and that will be March 26th. Questions about that? Nope. And lastly, filling out timesheets. Again, site admin leads, you are not signing off on everything, only things that are over here in yellow, which is if they're prepping for site meetings and they are reviewing data with you. If no one's reviewing data with you, you should not be signing off on that. If there are not monthly meetings or twice a week meeting, there means there's no prep. You shouldn't be signing off on that. Okay. And then, so again, if you are claiming hours for events, your event flyer or info or emails or something that went out about the event need to be uploaded in your folders for the month, right? So when you go to your agendas, put that in there in the month. So if you had an event for February, that is after hours. So let's talk about Commodores. Commodore did a PBIS event, but it was during school time. Would Danielle put on her timesheet for that? No, because it's during school time. Now, if Danielle prepped for it after school, right, and her admin also saw that she was prepping for that, right, then she would claim those hours. But nothing that you do during your regular time, you would claim for, only after contracted hours. Okay. And then, so please make sure that you are uploading your agendas. So if you are if you're claiming hours saying that you're having a site meeting and then I go into the month and I don't see agenda, I cannot sign off on that. And then if you're saying that you're claiming for an event after school hours, I need a flyer or some notification that you gave out to everybody that that event actually took place in your agendas. And then lastly, again, I keep saying lastly, this is almost lastly, really, I promise you. Timesheets need to be turned in by the 18th. Yes, I know at the district, they go on the 20th or 21st or whatever. I just have so many of them. There's a lot of stuff I have to do on our end. And so we need them by the 18th. And so our due date was yesterday. So if I receive them afterwards, you always will get an email from me saying, I just received your timesheet. Sorry, they already turned in. And they'll go on the next pay period. Oh, so you would either do them district mail, deliver to me in the mental health department. In person, you can come to 51 or 43D with Tiffany. I know in the front office at Marshall, sometimes they're like, oh no, we're not going to let you go back. Just go ahead and let them put them in our box, the mental health box. But shoot me an email. I appreciate everybody that's been doing that. Like, hey, Dina, I came by. They put it in your mailbox, so that way I could double check. And I can, if it's missing, I can be like, hey, I know this person dropped it off. So just go ahead. I appreciate that you guys are doing that. And then you can always check to see if I received your timesheets for the month. So if you just submitted your timesheets to me, you will be paid on 3/10 for those. Right? Did I lie? Whoops. Yes, 3/10. And now it's lastly, now we need to do vote on our February PBIS ambassador. Even though they will not be showcased because we don't have an end of the year, we already did our end of the year district-wide meeting, I still will send out all of the awards to everybody that are nominated. And then I will be personally going out to each school site, that has the winner. I still need to do January's winner and February's. So I'll be going out to those school sites to give an award and some swag to the actual winner. So if you can please go ahead and nominate who you feel should, or not nominate, choose who you feel just displayed PBIS for the month of February. And Tiffany's dropping that in the chat. And I'll come back to this. Tiffany, if you can drop the attendance link in so everybody can take attendance. And the rest of you, you're free to go. Look for my emails for state recognition. Get those TFIs in. Please get them in soon so that you can move forward with the application process. And I will walk you through everything, I promise you. I'll make it very painless for you.
Dina, you said just the TFI scores right now, not the action plan, or both?
Nope, just the TFI scores. Yep. Because your action plan you're going to actually do on the application worksheet, the application worksheet. So we can't move forward until I get the scores in. And so I already have some, I thought I put, maybe I didn't do that. I already have some school sites that have already submitted their TFIs. So they already have their applications. They're already going. And then they'll be getting some notices from me about me just doing the classroom walkthroughs. So we'll start moving very quickly.
Dina, can I ask you a clarifying question?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully I don't sound like too ignorant, but
Never.
so we have a Google form that's TFI Tier 1 2526 that has like team composition 1.1, operating procedures 1.2, and it has a rubric of 0 to 4.
Did you do the one that where did you get that from?
I believe it was somewhere in one of the folders and we just
Yeah. So that's when we did 3.0. So if you looked at that, that's 3.0 and we are using 2.1. So the email that I just sent out to you.
yeah. So because it doesn't say 3.0 on it, it's
So
it's green. It's like it looks like it's at the actual book. And
So-
it's like highlighted, it's a highlighted rubric, scoring criteria.
So
Okay, so that's what we did in September. And so now you're
Correct.
saying that we need to go back and we need to do this other one that you sent.
So just to clarify, yes, that is correct, but let me go back. So the TFI is not something that you just do once a year. TFI should be
Okay.
actually done at least 3 times a year. So
Oh,
yes, we did do 3.0 at the beginning of the year. Almost everybody
Okay.
did that. You know, it's wonderful. But for state recognition,
Okay.
we have to redo it anyways. But they are saying now we're not looking at 3.0 TFI that you did in September.
Even though it's
Doesn't
the
matter.
tier,
Nope.
it's tier 1, right? But the
Doesn't matter.
3.0 doesn't correlate with the tiers.
3.0 tier 1 has 20 features on it. If you look at tier
Yeah.
1,
Okay.
2.1, it only has 15 features.
Okay. All
So
right.
they are different. They are similar, but they are different.
Okay.
And the difference is, well, the good part about it is when you do your application, I'm actually glad I did have you guys do 3.0 because on the actual application, it asks you about 3.0 and what you've noticed. Well, if I didn't have you guys do it, you wouldn't have any noticings or wonderings, right? So it wasn't wasteful.
Okay.
Right? So you are going to be using it actually on your application. But for
Okay.
scorers to do your action plan, you are only looking at TFI 2.1. So I just sent out an email to you guys saying,
Okay.
this is what you're going to look at. And then you can go to this slide. So yes, you did do it at the beginning of the year, which was correct because that's what I asked you to do. But
Okay.
for state recognition and moving forward, we are not doing 3.0. We are doing 2.1. So use use this slide. You can use this
Okay.
slide that I have right here.
Yeah.
Or look at the
Yeah.
email that I just sent you. I
Yeah,
think
that's where I pulled it from, was from your email. But as I'm looking back and forth between what we have in our Google folder and then this, and I was like, oh, they match team composition 1.1, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a second.
they match to a certain
The scoring rubric is different. I'm like, oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. And then
All right.
and so 3.0 starts to ask more questions about mental health.
What
Where-
is the difference? What do the numbers mean? Like 2 point whatever, or 2.1, 3.0?
It's just a different type of survey. So 2.1 is the one that PBIS has used for years, and they are transitioning the whole application process. So 3.0 is the newest TFI, which has extra features in it, and it has
Yeah.
more of a focus on SEL and mental health.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
2.1 never really had that on there.
Yeah.
So-
It's much more comprehensive.
Yes, it is.
Detailed.
So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
So next year for state recognition, they have a whole new application. So we've had people that have been doing recognition now for 4 years. The next year, so 26, 27, the application is going to look completely different. So it's good that we're getting in as many as we can right now so that you guys are at least familiar with the application process because 26, 27 is going to be different.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is all brand new. It's
No,
like the
they're great
world is
questions.
very different. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all these numbers straight.
Yeah, no,
Am
it's
I
great questions. No,
okay?
perfect.
All right.
And Dina, just so you know, on the lead notebook, if we go on to that first page or not first page, but the page that has all the links to the TFIs, where the circle and like the new version, it blocks it so you can't click on those links. So you have to like go into the old monthly side decks and then find the TFI page to like get to those links.
If you go into present mode, Jacqueline, you'll be able to click right on it.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. So just go in present mode and you don't have to go back and do all that. So don't listen
Okay.
to what Jacqueline said, just if you're on there. But you know what, Jacqueline, you don't have to do that. Guess what? You can just use that email or this slide deck right here.
And I had a
Question.
question
Use
in
the
regards.
what? The emo?
Email.
Oh, email. Okay. All right. Sorry.
And Tiffany, you can stop recording. Go ahead. Sorry.